This is the Puerto Rican Punisher Baby. Telling you to check out Chop's videos on YouTube. He's got the best collection of classics in New England wrestling and professional wrestling in general. So go ahead, subscribe, give him a follow, give him a like, and hit the bell notification so that you get the latest videos when they drop. Y no te olvides que guste o no te guste, Chop Videos, esa es la que hay.
Yankee. Starting to have some serious back problems at the time. So yeah, I think I called it a day.
I remember I seen you at Back and Jack, which was Primal's last show. You were there, but you didn't work a match. I remember you trying to get Jose out of the ring when Jack had all them smashed bottles in the ring.
Yeah, was that in Lincoln? Not Lincoln. That was in
Attleboro.
Swansea. Attleboro?
Yeah, South Attleboro.
South Attleboro. Yeah. Him and Jack were going at it. And I think Jose took a bad bump or something. And I had to get him back in there, man. I said, listen, you gotta finish this shit out, man. You know how this motherfucker gets. You know, you gotta finish this shit out, brother. I'm hurting, man. I said, listen, Jose, finish it out. You have no choice, man. Come on, get in there. And he did. I think he took a bad bump and he hurt something. And I said, yeah, come on. I said, I'm gonna work Jack for a minute. You know, me and Jack will get into a little something, give you a little breather, get yourself together. And me and Jack did a little thing on the outside. Cracked him a couple of times. He cracked me back, gave Jose a little chance to breathe a little bit. And get himself together because we both know he took a bad bump. And he got his shit back together, man. He got in there, he finished out the match, you know. And I remember that.
I know I've heard all kinds of shit about that show, that them two had heat, and Jack said he was going to stab Jose, and Jose had a knife on him during the match. And then Stallion told me that they were both working him the whole time, and Vert said he really thought they were going to stab each other. And I've heard all kinds of shit about that match and that show.
Well, all right. You know, there was a little heat. But I never heard anything about anybody stabbing anybody. Not from Jack, and definitely not from Jose. You know, I know when Jose came down, he took a pump. He came down. I don't know. Maybe it was a little stab on Jack's behalf, but, you know, Jose, he took a bad bump, man, and Jack knew it. I knew it. And he's like, yeah, he used to want to tell me check on Jose. And then I checked on Jose, and he's like, yeah. And he was like, all right. I said, let's give him a minute. And me and Jack went and did a little something. We did a little something. And that gave Jose a chance to, you know, get his shit together. You know what I mean? And he got back in there. He finished the match, you know. And I think Jack was a little pissed off at the fact that, you know, Jose was just, you know, it was like he was just going to call the match and he was going to leave. But, you know, they had words upstairs about it. But, you know, in the end result is Jose finished the fucking match with him, hurt, and I mean, we went on doing what we did. You know what I mean? There was some heat. I'm not gonna tell you there wasn't. There was a little fucking heat going on at the time. I didn't know. You know, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't ask. You know, I felt as though you know. Let your nuts hang and knock it off. You know what I mean? You know, we're out here to do a fucking job and get the fucking job done, both of you. So stop it. You know, we're cool. We've been all cool, you know, for a while. You know, it's going on like 5, 6, 7 years now since we know Jack. And maybe a little longer. I mean, knock the shit off. If you got a fucking problem, you handle this shit, amongst yourselves. Don't take this shit to the fucking ring because it's only going to cause problems. Knock the shit off and get on with business.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Like I said, I don't know if it's hearsay or what. And I think it was Jose told me there was heat, but they had squashed it before, and then they continued to play on Donnie that they were going to do it. And then somebody, I think it was, they said Jose really did have a knife because he thought Jack was going to do something. But then they squashed it. And so it was like half true and half not, and they half played on it or something.
Well, they did have, like I said, they did have some heat. There was an issue. I never asked what it was. I didn't want to know what it was. But there was some heat. I know that for sure. About people carrying blades, I don't know if Jose had a blade, but you want to always know in your mind that there's a very strong possibility that Jack does have a blade. So, Jose knowing Jack better than any of us probably, he probably knew that point, and maybe he did, but he didn't tell me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying this is what I've heard. I'm not even saying it's true or whatever. I'm just, and that's if Jose knowing Jack, he's probably like, well, he's probably got a blade, And I know that that day, me and Ed showed up early with 2 boxes of light tubes because they were like, bring weapons. And the owner of the building come and grabbed them at the door from us. They were like, no glass. And he flipped out, and Stallion and him started yelling at each other. And they're like, no glass, no glass. So then when that match started, then Jack grabbed them bottles and started smashing glass all over the building. We were like, holy shit, this ain't good.
Yeah, I think he also grabbed a trash can full of fucking beer bottles and threw it in the ring, and they broke all over the place. And anybody knows as good as anybody. If Jack wants to hurt you, he's gonna fucking hurt you. That's it. Bottom line. And Jose walked away from the ring. He walked away from the ring. He wasn't cut up. He wasn't stabbed. And you know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe they were working everybody. Who knows? They were close. I'm not going to say they weren't. Jose and Jack were pretty tight. I met Jack through Jose. So, they were tight. So, maybe they were working everybody. Maybe they were working every single buddy and everybody in that building. But I know if Jack has a serious fucking issue with you. Well, nobody knows better than Vic Grimes, right? So if Jack has an issue with you, he's gonna see to that issue. So, and Jose, he walked out of there, on his own accord. He wasn't cut up, he wasn't hurt, he wasn't stabbed, he didn't get thrown off the top of the building, so wasn't stun gunned. So who knows?
Yeah, it was 2 full boxes of wine bottles, and he kept smashing them together. He had like the butt ends. He could have stabbed them if he wanted to easily.
Right, exactly.
He had him right up against his head and everything. I mean, I was right there with the camera. If he wanted to stick one in his head, he could have. He did.
Right, and Jack, Jack had the feeling that he wanted to do this or he needed to do this. Jose would have been stuck. Just.
But I was more like the owner of the building was like, no glass, no glass. And he must have said that to Jack. And Jack was like, no glass, huh? I'll show you no glass. Started smashing glass all over the building.
Yeah, in places like that, they get a little worked up because of insurance purposes. So they hear that this guy has an extreme wrestling background. Them places, they really start to worry. I was watching the segment you did with Joe Brown, and you're talking about Bretta breaking the window. You know what I mean? Places get real uptight, man, real fast about shit like that. So,
Can't blame them though, if you own the building and it was your place,
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, a killer experience as far as I was concerned. You know what I mean? And the more and more I spent with these guys, the more and less I felt like that because like I'm with these guys all the fucking time. You know what I mean? I'm building a relationship with these guys, me and Jack. You know, he hit me up one day. He was like, because I posted some shit, and he was like, John, let me ask you a fucking question. It was about guns and shooting. And he was like, can you fucking shoot or you just full of shit? And I said, listen, Jack, man, bring your fucking ass up north for some time. Come visit, and we'll go shooting. We'll go fucking shooting, man. I'll show you. I'm a fucking good shot, man. And, I was hoping that, that would have happened when he was supposed to come up and do his book signing. Yeah, maybe we could have got together, went to a range, but it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
That sucks, man. It really does. So was there a reason you didn't? I know that back in Jack's show that we were just talking about, I know Jack was pissed when he left because I was outside smoking a cigarette and he was with Cassie or whatever. And I was outside smoking a cigarette and he come walking out with her. And I was going to ask him for a promo and he was drinking a 40. And I'm like, oh, I pulled my cigarette, I grabbed my camera. I went to ask him. He's like, fucking motherfucking honky, motherfucking white mother. He hucked this fucking 40 and just fucking missed me, smashed on the wall next to me. I'm like, he wasn't talking to me. He was just saying it, overall. I'm like, oh, I guess I won't ask him for a promo. Yeah.
Fucking Jack. But yeah, I think he was a little perturbed about the fact that, Jose took the bump, got hurt, and he was just gonna call it a match because, I fear Jose. It was a nasty bump. You don't know if, you continue or you're gonna be able to walk out the fucking ring. Jack, he's balls to the wall, man. I'm just look, I'm gonna do this fucking jump off this 40-foot scaffold, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm gonna do it. When I get up there, I know I'm gonna do it, and when it's time to do it, I do it. I think Jose really fucking hurt himself, man, and it was kind of a reality check to his body, and I think Jack got a little upset with it. I went upstairs, afterwards, and they had a couple words. They were having some words. But at the end, it all got smoothed out, Jack stepped back and he thought about it. And, I'm doing what I'm doing because, I'm on pay-per-view. I'm making good money and I'm on the contract. You know what I mean? So I think he took a step back and he thought about it for a minute. He's like, all right. They chilled the fuck out. That's how I perceived it when I got upstairs. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he was upset.
It was definitely a wrong time to ask him for a promo, though. A white, long-haired, redneck looking dude like me. I was like, yeah, well, I'll wait.
maybe, who, but yeah, I think by time, because I had to take off. So I went upstairs. I talked to Jose, and then I went and talked to Jack, and he was all right. So yeah, and and this says a lot because the last time I spoke to Jack, it was on FaceTime. It was back in April maybe. Him and Jose were together. And I talked to him on FaceTime. Jose was like, "Hey, I got somebody who wants to talk to you." And I was like, "All right." And he gets on the phone. He's like, "Oh, John, what's up, motherfucker?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, look at this guy. Look at this ugly fucking face here I'm looking at." And yeah, we were cool like that. But yeah, that was the last time I talked to him. And when I talked to him and Jose were together. So they're helping out. They're doing gear. They're doing merch. They're selling merch, and that's when we had some marshals. Coming looking for Jack. You know what I mean? They were coming looking for Jack that night. And that was kind of tight. That was a little edgy. I want to say it had to do with the mass transit incident, but it could have been with the the incident down in Florida. But yeah, there was a couple guys there looking for him, law enforcement, you know. But yeah, that was a good show. It worked out right, because I don't want to say right because it's kind of fucked up, but we really got, you know, inducted with these guys because of the New Jack Max Transit incident. You know, and that's when we really started, you know, being around these guys a lot. You know, Jose had to go to testify, and yeah, he was the first one to bring Jack around. You know what I mean? And yeah, it just all fell into place, man. Got Jack, came down, and came up, and in return, he was talking about, hey, he's telling these guys, yeah, listen, Sandman, man, I got, you know, this place up north, you know, they pay good, and you know, they got some good workers, and Sandman came up, and Tommy came up, Balls came up. You know, we had a lot of them guys coming up. Little Guido came up. You know, we had a lot of them guys coming to do some fucking shows, man, and it was cool as shit. You know, and I enjoyed my time there, man. Primal, I really did, because we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of them guys coming out, and a lot of guys got to know guys like that. You know what I mean? And they got close with guys like that, and formed relationships, formed bonds, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was the right timing because ECW was just closing down. You know, they weren't having shows, so them guys are looking for bookings.
Yeah, because around the mass transit incident is that, you know, shortly after that is when shit started going south for ECW. You know what I mean? And I mean, it sucks, but you know, shit like that happens. But what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, that was November to Dismember in November. That was a show with Sandman. He got really shit faced, I guess.
Yeah, we're in the back, man. I'll tell you, right? We're in the back, and I'm like I said, they loosened the reins there. You know what I mean? So I'm getting pretty well done myself, and I'm popping a couple of Vicodins here. You know, at this time I'm feeling some pain. You know, it's a few years into my career, and I'm feeling a little bit of pain. Not that it's an excuse, but I'm popping some Vikes. The Sandman looks over at me and says, "Pretty, what are you popping over there?" I said, "A couple of Vicodin." He said, fuck that, man. Here, take a couple of these. Here, take one. It's the equivalent of 6 of them. I said, nah, man, I'm good, brother. You do your thing. I'm good. But yeah, he was feeling pretty good that show.
Yeah, didn't Jack have to run in and help hold him up on the ropes and stuff? Wasn't that like a audit that he ran in and did that?
Yeah, Jack was there that night. Yeah, yep, that happened. Yep, Sandman was feeling good. You know, and it's kind of weird because I seen Sandman. I was at an ECW pay-per-view. It was in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and you know, I was there with Jack, and this dude, man, he came in feeling good. Talking about Sandman, he came in with his gear, pulling his bag. This guy went over to the ring. He rode in. Got one corner, ran to the other, ran the ropes, did a moonsault, came down, grabbed his bag, and he went to the back. But he was feeling good. Like, wow, man, I can't do that shit, man, if I ain't feeling good. You know what I mean? But it was cool. And yeah, but that night, yeah, man, I think he was feeling really good. And Jack came out, you know, dude that Jack is, and he was looking out for his boy. You know? So that was cool.
Yeah, that was the night Abdullah was supposed to be there, right? And didn't Jack come in? No, Sandman come in to take his place.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
I remember all the ads. Abdul the Butcher, the only New England appearance of Abdul the Butcher.
Yeah, Abby was supposed to be there and he couldn't make it. I think he was having some kind of health problems, maybe. He couldn't make it at the time. So yeah.
All right. So after that Revere show, well, on that Revere show was Cronus and the Pitbulls. Any memories or stories of them?
They were cool dudes. You know, we spoke. You know, I really. It's hard to say. It's like Cronus. I feared more towards him. You know what I mean? The Pitbulls, they did their thing. Wasn't a big fan of the Pitbulls, but you know, Cronus was cool. I veered more to him, hung out with him more. Nice guy as far as, you know, our relationship, us talking, us getting to know each other. But no, they were just cool, man. They were real humble dudes. They didn't have a broom stuck up their asses because they were ECW guys. Nice guys. Really nice guys, man.
Cronus basically became one of the locker room. Wouldn't you say he became one of the locker room after a little while? He was there a lot.
Yes. Cronus, he did a lot of shows with us. Yeah, he did a lot. I think maybe the Pitbulls did maybe 1-2 shows with us. Cronus did a lot of shows with us. Just like Jack did a lot of shows with us. Sandman did a few with us. Tommy did a few with us. Balls did a few with us. Yeah, but I think Cronus and Jack, they did more shows with us than anybody.
Yeah, I'd say them two or maybe Balls. Them three were like regulars.
Yeah.
All right, after the show, you got a New Jack story for me? Just out of the blue, a New Jack story.
A New Jack story for you. Oh God, I got a lot of New Jack stories.
It don't have to be a bad one. It could be a funny one. It could be a good one. It could be just anything. Something about New Jack.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, if you ever heard that the man can cook, and I don't mean like in the ring, I mean at a stove. The man could cook. He could really cook. We were at a show one night and we got to eat, and he's like, "Oh, this is awful. You know, I'm going to cook you all dinner one night." You know, I'm like, "All right, Jack, you're going to cook me fucking dinner. Show you off." He's like, "Oh, what do you think? I'm bullshit?" I said, "Well, you know, yeah." All right. Fuck you, John. Tomorrow we're going out and get some shit, and we're gonna cook. I said, "I ain't cooking nothing." He said, "Well, I'm gonna cook." I said, "Okay." So next morning, you know, we go out, we go to the store, we pick up some oxtail. And I asked him, "You know, going in there, what are you cooking?" "Oh, you're gonna see. Well, no. Well, I want to know what I'm gonna eat. What are you cooking? All right. We get to the counter. Hey, give me some oxtail. Got some oxtail. All right. We get back to the house. We're at Jose's, I believe. And he's in there cooking. He said, "Everybody get out of here. I'm going to do my thing." All right. So we're out there. We'll watch some TV. I think it was Sunday night. I think there was a pay-per-view on WWE. And he's in there cooking. And he was like, "All right, it's done." And we're talking a lot of shit, man, in the middle of him cooking. You know, he's in there cooking. We're talking shit. This motherfucker cooking. He ain't cooking. Come on. So we go in there. We get our plates. We come back out. We eating. And he's in the kitchen. He's eating his stuff in the kitchen. And he was like, "You know what? Before this shit was done, I heard a lot of motherfuckers talking shit." He said, "But now all I hear is slapping lips." The man could cook. The man was good behind the stove, man. He really was. He could cook. And you know, Jack was a hell of a dude. I mean, a lot of people got, you know, a lot of different things to say about Jack, how they perceive Jack. I love the man, you know. And I'll tell you, and it's not like, oh, it's New Jack, whatever. Fuck that. I was on the fence 50-50 when I first met the dude. You know what I mean? It could go either way. I could either not like this motherfucker, or I think he's the coolest thing on fucking earth. And I think I was leaning towards the fact that, you know, I think he's an arrogant dude, man. And and we were at a show, and we got there early, and he was like, all right, and he was looking at shit that he could jump off of, and he was like, hey, let's go grab a drink. And I was like, all right. We went and grabbed a drink. We had some lunch, and after that day, my whole perception of New Jack fucking changed. It really did. It really did. I seen that dude was a lot like me. You know what I mean? And he wasn't obnoxious and a loud mouth that I first thought he was. You know what I mean? And yeah, we became really cool. Really, really, really cool. Love the guy, miss the guy. You know what I mean? It sucks. You know, he's not here anymore. You know, it really does. We were supposed to hook up the weekend before he passed away. You know, so that really sucked, man. He was supposed to be in Boston for a book signing. I was supposed to hook up that weekend. Me, my wife, Jose, his wife. You know, and yeah, didn't happen. And then I think I got the news from Jose's wife. You know, she sent me a text, and it was the picture of New Jack, and you know, the caption with him passing away. And I called her right away. I said, "What the fuck? Are you kidding me?" She was like, "Nah, nope." So first thing I do when I hear shit like that is I hop TMZ, man, and you know, because they got all the shit, and it was on there. It was on there, man. I was blown away. Spent a lot of time with the dude, you know, and he was cool with me, cool with my family, loved my kids, you know, always nice to me, my family, my kids, and yeah, it really sucked.
Yeah, I get that from a lot of people. He was a good dude. If you were good to him, he was good to you.
You know, I they did the dark side of the ring thing with him, and I remember Jim Cornette saying, you know, they asked him, you know, what's the difference? What kind of difference is it between Jerome Young and New Jack? And I'm going to tell you the same shit he said, man. I don't think I met Jerome Young, but I sure as hell met New Jack. All right, and I love the motherfucker. I really did. Really did. He was a cool dude, man. He really was. You know what I mean? Spent some time with. Spent a lot of time with. He was at my house, Jose's house. You know. Yeah, it really sucked, man. It really did.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked when I heard the news. I didn't know him that well. I'd met him a few times, but I was pretty shocked when I heard it.
Yeah. I had a lot of good times with him. You know. It was then we're out at a Olive Garden or some shit. You know, one of them restaurants. You know, TGI Fridays or some shit. One of them fucking places. And we're sitting there, we're having a meal, you know, we're having a good time, we're having some fucking laughs. It was me, my wife, Jose, his wife, Jack, and Gino, gorgeous Gino Giovanni. And we're out there and we're having a good time, you know. And the bill comes over, you know, all right, cool. Bill's here, whatever. And when the waitress, when she took the fucking bill out of her pocket, a fucking quarter come flying out of her bill, out of the folder, landing in my beer. Right? Everybody knows I love my beer. All right. So I said, yo, hey, you know, the quarter just landed in my beer. You know, get a new beer, please? Yeah, all right. She comes back in a new beer. It was the same fucking cup with the same amount of fucking beer in it. This broad went back there and fished out the quarter out of my fucking beer and brought it back to me, man. I said, you gotta, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, look, it's the same amount of beer, same glass. And Jack lost his shit. Jack lost his shit at that point, man. He just about had it. He was like, fuck that. Because she was giving me a hard time about the beer. Like, bring me another fucking beer. I'm paying for this beer. You just ruined my beer. He lost his shit. No, you know, nevertheless, the manager came out and then I got a free beer out of the deal. Well, not a free beer, but I got my beer back. And But yeah, man, that's how Jack was. Jack, like you said, he ran out there, looked out for Sandman. Jack, that's what Jack does for his friends. He looks out for his people. He always did, man. You know, as far as I know.
Even if it wasn't the same beer and she filled another one, she filled it to the same spot. Like she didn't even give you a full
Filled it
beer.
to the same fucking spot. Can you believe that? Come on, man. I'm enjoying my beer. That's my last sip of beer. We're getting ready to get the fuck out of here. You just ruined it on me. I want a new beer.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Should be like, I'm sorry. Here's a full one. Hey, I'm sorry,
Yeah, I'm
sir.
sorry. Compliments to the house. My apologies. You know what I mean? And she looked at it, go right in it went right in the fucking cup, missed the whole table, right in the cup. And she went on with business like nothing happened, man. And I'm like, hey, you just threw a fucking quarter like it was a wishing fountain. You threw a quarter in my beer.